Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. and it's November 16th. All right, so yesterday we kind of went up a little bit and then kind of just balanced off. Took a little rest. Um, had a lot of had some bad earnings this morning. Palo Alto, Walmart, with some bad guidance. I think Cisco. What else? Alibaba uh, talked about they're killing a cloud spinoff because of the U.S. curb on chips. That's hurting. Also, the what is his name? Xi Jinping and Biden meeting didn't go well, so that didn't help China stocks. So that's what's going on right now. So that's what's going on in the market right now. So we'll get into certain levels, of course. But before we do that, without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. Use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the market. Okay, also use gamma exposure levels, supply and demand, and the most shorter price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. All helps me find structure. Structure is the key, not price action. Um, and not meaning I don't trade off price action, just meaning overall, macro wise, I like to see the big picture. And market profile and volume profile give me that. Okay, so then that's how I come up with scenarios. All right. So if you like what you see, subscribe, set an alert. All right. You could always give me a nice big thumbs up if you like what you see. And you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. Okay. So let's just get right into futures watch list. And let's look at what's going on here. Silver is up 0.58. 30-year bonds are being bought. Okay. TLT is up 0.77 as well. Gold is up 0.16. The dollar is flat, basically, only slightly up. The 10-year yield should fall a little bit. That reports at 820. Ether's down a little bit. ES is down 0.18. The Dow is down 0.19. The Nasdaq is down 0.36. Crude's down 0.40. They had a surplus of inventory yesterday. The VIX is down 0.63. Russell is down 0.64. Hit the 200-day moving average. And Bitcoin is down 1.56%. Okay, so 38K resistance in Bitcoin. Okay, moving on. Stocks I like to day trade and swing trade. Leader, we have Microsoft, Google, Apple's kind of flat, and then we got a bunch of laggards. But the big ones, laggard wise, is Nvidia, down 0.96, down percent now. Amazon is taking a big hit here, down 1.36. Tesla finally taking a break, down 1.82. Baba, big loser, down 7.55. All right. Talked about the cloud spinoff that they killed, about that, and the meeting between China's leader and Biden. Okay, moving on to top sector stocks. Okay, PepsiCo is leader, up 0.57, followed by Johnson and Johnson, but that's about it. And we get into some laggards. Home Depot, Costco, that's probably sympathy play with Walmart. Okay, Chevron down 1.04%. And then Walmart's down 5.5%. That was more before. It was up down 7%. Okay. So, just a lot of them seeing pressures of the economy and giving missing guidance. So that's what's going on there. Let's go with sectors. All right. We got utilities as a defensive, so that's the leader. 0.11. That's not much of a leader. But laggards here, we got semis down 0.38. Staples, that's interesting because PepsiCo's up. But Staples is down 0.55. And discretionary with Tesla and Amazon and Home Depot down. That is the weakest sector. Okay, that needs a little bit of a break. That broke out, so talked about that earlier in the week. All right, let's move over to some news. We'll go start with the market, the calendar today. There's a lot of Fed speak today. Okay, a lot of Fed speak. Fed Cook, Fed Bar. Fed Mester, Fed Williams, Fed Waller, Fed Barr, Fed Cook, Fed Mester. Jesus, there's a lot of them today, right? And we have initial jobless claims coming at 8:30, followed by Philly Fed. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Here's what I talked about. Walmart guidance disappoints, and oil slips inventories rise. We also had the what else here? Just want to see here. We talked about the Walmart earnings, Alibaba. It's probably the news I really wanted to get into. Not much more than that. Obviously, there's a couple retail. Macy's did good. Um, Actually, I just had that up here. Let me see, because I had. Here we go. I want to show you guys this. So here we go. So where's the Walmart? Macy's rose 9.8%. Alibaba, we know that, dropped. Cisco slumped over 10%. All right, Palo Alto down 5.8, bringing down the rest of cybersecurity stocks related. Bath and Body Works fell 3.1. Eli Lilly stock rose 0.5. The Reuters reported that U.S. pharmaceuticals company plans to build a new plant in Western Germany. All right, we're going to move right over to the daily charts. Okay. All right, let's look at what we did yesterday, right? So 450 is a large gamma level, all right? And we basically closed around it. We hit 451, and we kind of we opened here, closed here, right? Where are we at now? 448.80. We are 448.80. We're at the lows of yesterday, right now, pre-market. Okay, we're at the lows. I mean, look at this move. You need a breather, right? So we're either gonna pull back or just rest and balance out, right? So that's really what's going on in the SPY. Let's go over with the Qs. Come on, Qs. Okay, we almost hit. See, pre-market it was at all-time highs, right? We almost hit. Let's just say we did hit all-time highs, right? People are gonna take profits. That was expected, right? So we opened here, closed here, right? 385 was a positive, was a negative gamma level, also a flip point for gamma. So we went below that, and then we kind of closed right above it, right? So where are we at now? We're at 384.17. So we're gapping. Well, no, we're at the lows. We're at the lows of the Nasdaq for yesterday. Okay, same thing. Just a meteoric rise. Either we pull back, we need time to pull back, little correction, or we're gonna bounce, right? We're gonna go sideways. Okay, people need to take a breather. I'm sure it's tired from just going up that high, right? Real quickly, we look at the Dow. Dow actually moved up yesterday, okay, but came to a key resistance level at 350, 351. That was expected. When I saw that happening, I'm like, okay, we're probably gonna pause there. And the IWM, look at that. That is profit taking there. It hit the 200-day moving average of 181 and the 100-day moving average and just sold off. Boom. Right, so now this needs to take a break and see if it can hold last month's highs. It broke the downtrend, and let's see what it can do around the 177, 178 level. Okay. All right, I don't have to go into the triple-headed monster. What do we got? 10-year yields at 4.5. It's flat, so not much, and the dollar's flat. Right, so there's not much to go into that. So we're going to go straight into structure in the market profile. And let's do that. All right, so let's look at the structure. What do we have going here? All right, so this is ES. Okay, so we have our profile here. Boop. And a little distribution down here. This is the last week. Okay, so right now price is here at 45.10. Okay, So the most traded price of the week has moved up to 45.23 right here. The market pulled value higher. All right, so that's bullish. Now, as far as very micro, we're below the most traded price of yesterday and the most traded price of the week. Price is here, right? So that is a little micro bear. Okay, that's a little bearish. Okay, so how do we divulge it and how do we make sense of this, right? All right, so it's very simple. Okay, let's look at our, like we just looked at our summer levels, right? So yesterday I talked about this demand zone, right? Okay, this overnight low right here. I said this area yesterday is the defense line right here. You see how the market came into here, and when it did initially come into here, it went right back up, but then it closed down at the lows. Okay, but this was defended here. This area was defended. Okay, now where are we? We're pretty much at the close yesterday. Okay, so let's look at the highs, the lows, the overnight highs, the overnight lows. Okay, so we're pretty much flat, but we're holding the lower prices from yesterday, and we're below these major levels. So that is like a little bearish. Okay, macro wise, we're still bullish, but micro wise, maybe intraday, we're tiny bearish. Okay, so pretty easy today. Again, we're setting up here, right, to either defend this level here, or we're probably going to have a little correction. Okay, so let's look at the bullish side. We're in demand. Okay, in demand. Now if we look at what's happened here, this is the CPI print. You got single prints, right? Then the market opened here in the real-time trading hours, and we ripped up. Okay, but we have single prints. We have a gap and more single prints all the way down here. You can see the volume's very thin to the right, right? So that is not a good foundation. That's very weak. We didn't do like this, move up, this, move up, this. We just went like this. Okay, so this is susceptible to get cleaned up. Okay, doesn't mean it does. It just means that it's susceptible to it. Okay, so if we're going to talk about a bullish case, okay, you need to see this defended. Okay, so the overnight low right here is also a naked VPOC from the previous day. Okay, so right in this area, the end of this demand zone needs to be defended by the bulls. Okay, because below that you have singles and a gap in singles, right? You don't have a good foundation. So, but in a bullish scenario, let's just say we do come down here, and single prints, like I said, with volume and really weak market, they don't offer support. Okay, but if they offer support, let's say we do this, I would suspect we can at least tap this most traded price, and we can go here, and I'm not sure we break out today. Okay, that could happen, but I would think probability lies and we balance off, like do something like this. Okay, now of course we could pull back deeper. Now we test that low that day in the top of the gap. That would be a liquidation for some longs, but then if it's defended, that also can propel the market back up here. Okay, that's what I see as far as bullish. Bearish, okay, bearish is a couple things. Okay, we could come down here, that can get defended. We can come back up here into supply, right, into supply, tap yesterday's highs, maybe make a higher low, come back to this key level, right? If we go under this level and find acceptance, okay, we can make the move. And if we take out the demand, we could definitely find ourselves at the lows of this day, okay? And then if we take out this in the market, like I said, this could possibly clean all this up, and we go back down to 44.30. That would still be macroly bullish because you're holding this level, right? We came up so fast, right? This might be looked at as a buying opportunity down here, but that's just, a scenario, right? We also could find the buyers, like I said here, and then come back up here and balance up in here, right? But you have to give all the scenarios, okay? All right, let's look at, and that was the ES, okay? That was the ES scenarios. All right, we'll move over to the NASDAQ. Okay. We have very similar, not exact, but very similar situation here. Okay. Let's look at our structure. Let's look at our structure here. So we have a little excess at the top, followed by some trading, and if you look at that, that's a pretty balanced profile. What we, for the last week we have the CPI print. Okay, see with double distribution. Okay. Now the Nasdaq also moved the most trader price up to here, that around 159. Okay. So that market's done its job. It's brought value up. Okay. However, same as the ES. Okay. Price is right here. It's right at yesterday's lows right now. Okay. Right at yesterday's lows. Inventory is equal. I didn't mention that in ES, but that was not, there's not an edge there. Okay, but you do have this little weak low here from the overnight low and yesterday's low forming. Now, I don't know how that's going to look once we open, right? So, the Nasdaq's a little weaker. Okay, went up and now it's a little weaker. So, let's look at the structure here. We have yesterday's highs here, right? We have actually a poor low yesterday. So this is poor low. So we have two 30-minute bars that are right at this bottom. And usually that needs to be cleaned or that needs to be corrected. That just means that we're going to get a little bit of an extension here. Okay, usually when you have that poor low, when it's revisited, it pushes through. And it doesn't mean it just falls. It just means you're going to get it's going to correct itself. Okay, you're going to get excess. Okay, that's all that means. So doesn't, even if it gets corrected, doesn't mean it's bearish. It just means it gets corrected. Okay. So what do we have here? We have the same kind of scenario going. Okay, and it's all about right here, this low in this demand zone and the top of the gap. Top of the gap's right here. Okay, so again, you see the weak volume that's here. Not good structure. Okay, not a good structure. However, it's the job of the buyers to defend. If they defend, right, that's bullish. If they can't, we're probably going to clean this up, right? Same thing. Okay, same scenarios. So if the bullish scenario, we can come up into the supply, come back down, test this, and we either hold it, even dip below it a little bit, and you start making some higher lows. We're going to revisit this most traded price. Let's see if you can break this. Maybe test yesterday's highs, but I would suspect we balance off here. Okay, market needs to cool off a little bit. It just means that the buyers defend here. Okay. Now the ES had two defense areas. The Nasdaq only has one. It's this one. Okay. So as far as the bearish scenario, okay, it's pretty simple here. Okay, but it's more. I like this the short in the Nasdaq a little better. Okay, now the market's got a little pop right now. That's because jobless claims just came out. Let's look at that really quickly. I'm gonna guess that jobless claims rose. Let's see here. Jobless claims. Yep. So this is bullish. Okay. So consensus was 220 and 231. Okay. So that's, that just pushes the Fed to not have to do any more tightening. Okay. That's that's a little bullish. Let's go back here. Okay. So the market's rising on that. So we go back to our scenario here in the bear case. So if we come up here in this supply, right, I think the real area I'd probably be interested is in this most traded price, because there's supply right here as well. If you fail here and you come under here and find acceptance below, you're probably going to test this area, and the real test is flushing down in here to the bottom of this demand zone and the top of a gap. Okay, and it's all about here for a bear scenario. If you break this demand and you hold under here in this gap and you start to get more weakness in the market, you could easily fall down and go right into this area right around here. Okay, and macro wise, it still would be bullish. This would just be a corrective move. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing for today. I mean, it's pretty basic, pretty easy to see this stuff with the market profile and volume profile. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoy this content. Subscribe, set an alert. All right, also if you enjoyed it, you can give me a big thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. And you can always follow me on social media on X at Gonzo719. And I wish everybody good luck today. Stay green, be patient, wait for the levels that I talked about, and then we assess, right? Then we assess. All right, everybody have a good day.